I had a schedule change for now.
Okay. Welcome.
We said we're.
Yeah, I'll give you the seat.
Spot. Bailey.
Certain case switched. There's a couple more changes. And just to warn you, I do record class, so watch what you say. I recorded with a GoPro. So.
Oh, you have a GoPro? That's awesome.
So I am recording, so.
I have 7 GoPros.
Nice. So you have that many. You can only use one at a time, can
So you also record the screen?
Yes. Okay. So that way you can watch it in case you're going to. Or it's online.
Oh, right outside. Oh, that's why it's wow. No, actually, I like it. So this is it. It's like what we got. It's just without battery. We bored in class too. No, I bet you would have got it. Oh, wait.
Okay. Hi, welcome. Sorry, I'm Mr. Ward if you don't know.
I'm Alex.
Hi, Alex. All right, so, all right. Let's get you in a spot here. Because I do have a scene chart, sorry. I do have one. You are technically not on it as of yet. So. All right. All right. So, Alex, what's your last name, please?
Phillips.
Phillips. So, okay. Phillips. Was it with 2 L's?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to put you right there if you'd like to sit there. Right there at that diagonal desk. I always like to spread people out. Okay. Okay. And I'll get you a book here.
Okay.
Yeah, small, tiny. All right. If you don't know, Miss Stefan is here every once in a while. She's just here to observe, so don't be afraid. She'll throw out ideas and stuff. So treat her like an equal, just like me. All right. Now, I need to apologize right off the bat. I need to explain something because I did say yesterday that I was going to post all the class videos to the website, correct? That's hsmath.org. So if any of you checked it out last night, you're interested to see what it was going to look like, see the video. I haven't posted yet. I am going to post it, but there's a problem with it. And it was a mistake that I made, and it was a dumb mistake. And I didn't realize I did it. My GoPro is in this little case up there. It's a waterproof case. It's also soundproof. You hear 0 words coming out of my mouth. In fact, the projector was on yesterday, right? It had that loud hum. You couldn't even hear that.
Well, I have tons of GoPros. And what you could do, you could just pull off the back part so then you can still hear.
Yep. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to get an external microphone. I'm going to put it right here, and I'll just sync up the audio later. It's easy enough. It's easy to do. So, Okay, so that was my bad. It was a first attempt at doing it because it was new this year. I'm trying it out. So we found the first kink. So audio, it will be fixed. I'll post that video online tonight. It won't have any sound, but I don't think you'll need to worry about that. Okay? So, now let's talk about what's the homework that's due tomorrow. Book cover. You need a book cover. So you have to get that covered with either paper bag, the little sake thing. It has to be on there. It's 10 points, all or nothing. Don't fail the first week of general math because you forget a book cover. There's no getting points back. It's all or nothing. It's either you paid attention or you didn't. So don't fail the first week of pre-cal or general math. So let's talk about some concepts today because I did hint at some of the concepts we were going to talk about today. As of yesterday, we were talking about the real numbers, correct? We talked about natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational. Those are the different categories that I said that was going to be our year. We're in whole numbers, so let's talk about that. That is the chapter we're in. So let me explain. Okay, so we're on section 1.1. So if you don't know, that little S symbol is subsections, 2 S's. Subsection, chapter 1, section 1. We were talking about place value, right? That was their topic. The big thing that we discussed yesterday was, number 1, we talked about that there is such a thing as called a place value chart, which you will have. I will post that online with the video today once I get the video cleaned up a little bit. See if I can extract any audio out of that thing. So place value chart. But we also went to the real numbers. And that was what I was talking about. The idea that there's different categories of numbers that you learn in your lifetime. Okay? Natural numbers were the first ones. The ones you learn in like preschool, kindergarten, first, second grade. That's 1 through whatever. Then we get to whole numbers. And that's the category that this chapter is based out of. These are the categories of numbers you learn in second, third, fourth, and it keeps going, right? All it is, it's like the natural numbers, but the set of numbers, yes, it is a set. We use curly braces. It's going from 0 and up, all the way up till the direction of positive infinity. Infinity is not a number, it's a direction, going to big numbers, right? So that's a lot of possibilities there. But what we're learning in this first chapter is basic stuff. Are you comfortable with reading, writing, and doing some simple arithmetic with those numbers? Add, subtract, multiply, and divide, exponents, parentheses. We're doing the basics. The stuff that you're probably very, very comfortable with. Some stuff you're not, because I know like division is something that a lot of people just despise. They hate it. I'll teach you some shortcuts for it. Stuff that I've learned over years. Maybe it'll make it easier, okay? So that's stuff we are going to learn. That's our category. Now, what I was discussing yesterday was this possibility of just thinking about how do these two things connect? How does place value connect with actual numbers? And that's the little project I want you to talk about. This is going to be our little 10-minute connection. Okay, this is the part that I want to like open up your mind to this idea of not being that, I don't want to say sheep or just being that person in class who just listens, but you're not like involved in the process of thinking about what I'm talking about. Okay, what I mean by that, I'm going to just give you this concept here. I'm going to post this video up here. Okay, so I'm gonna give you this idea of what whole numbers are, and I want you to wrap your head around this concept of how important it is to actually think about what we're discussing, the importance of it. So I'm going to use Microsoft Word instead today. This might be a lot better to look at. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so here's Microsoft Word, and I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can actually see it. Okay, so we talked about this yesterday, and this is where we left off. What is that number? 10,000. That's a lot. We talked about this yesterday in like terms of money. That's a lot of money, right? You can buy your first car with that. Buy pretty much. I mean, that's just an incredible sum of money. That's terms of money like that you'd make over maybe your high school career at a job that you'd be working. That's like all 4 years if you started freshman year to high school, your senior year. You might make that in terms of money if you're working a lot. So, I mean, you got to put that in perspective. You had to work 4 years to make something like that. Now, to give you a concept here, how much is this now when you put them together? 20,000. Okay, that's maybe your first major job out of high school, maybe. Now, if you're working McDonald's, you could possibly get there, but you're working 40 hours a week, and you're really busting it. I mean, you're getting to work, you're really putting in the time. If you go to college, a major university, like a major university now, maybe out of state, this is the tuition that it costs. Go out of state, maybe to go to Illinois, to go to Nebraska. That's per year. Per year, you have to pay that. Now, in-state, maybe it's about $20,000. Iowa State University is about $20,000 per year per student if you live in the state of Iowa or you have a residence in Iowa. Okay, if you go to university and you come out, this may be your first paycheck, like the first year pay. You'll get about $40,000. Okay, that's after you get out and you're actually working. You work for 10 years here at the high school, you might make $50,000, maybe, in 10 years. Okay, think about that in terms of money. We started with high school. We went to your first college tuition, your first job out. We went to tuition if you went out of state versus your first year getting paid. Now you're in 10 years of getting paid. That's how much money you'd make. Okay, now that is what, 50 grand worth of money. That's $50,000. That will get you a nice house, like an actual house. That'll buy you a house for that type of money. Okay? Like small, don't get me wrong, you're not getting a big house, but you're getting a small house. There's $100,000. That'll get you a nice home, 1,300 square feet here in Garner. Clear Lake, you'd have to use you'd have to use $200,000 to get the same exact house in Clear Lake. Same house, 1,300 square feet, 4-bedroom. Think about that in terms of money. Look how many years this is. That right there I've highlighted. It's 10 years of teaching. This is another 10 years of teaching. This is another. In terms of money, a lot of people never think of it that way. You never think of money in terms of this, that this is $100,000, that you will take many, many years of your life to get there. Right? $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Okay? My pay, just to give you a concept, my pay this year is about 50 grand. I'll be out front. You can see in the paper. 50 grand. Okay? Our administration makes this. It's our superintendent. Makes 300,000 a year. 500,000 is what I'm basically looking at when I retire. $500,000. That's putting in my 30, 40 years of teaching. Think about that in terms of money. And don't get me wrong, I will not have that in terms of money because I'm paying for a house. I'm paying for my student loans. I'm still paying for student loans. And I've been teaching for 11 years. I'll be paying student loans for the next 8 years of my life. That's a lot of money. Now, let me wrap your head. This is $500,000, right? It's a lot. It's a lot, don't get me wrong. That's $100,000. Or that's 100,000, so that's 200, wait, what is that? That's 50, that's 500,000. So this is $1 million, I think, right now. Is that right? 500,000, yeah. That's $1 million. It would take me 88 years of my life to get there. I will not live 88 years. And that's working from like day one and not spending a dime. I'll never get there in my lifetime. There's $1 million. Look at that. Look how many lines that is. $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million. What am I on page 3? I'm on page 3. This is what did I say? $5 million. This is $5 million right here. This is what some people pay for a Bugatti Veyron car. This is what they pay for the car. Bugatti Veyron, if you don't know, it's the world's fastest car. It goes like 264 miles an hour. I don't know why you need that. The speed limits are 55 miles an hour. The car will run out of gas in 13 seconds if you drive at that speed. Okay, that's $5 million. That's 3 pages of this. So I copied all of that. There's $10 million, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, $100 million. I'm at page 41 on a Word document. It's $100 million. Just to give you in perspective, I'm back to page 1 now. That was 41 pages on Microsoft Word of this. Wrap your head around the terms of money. The Powerball that was won, a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, was up to $600 million. That's 6 times this. 6 times 41 pages of this. 41 pages times 6. I'm going to multiply using column methods. Sorry if you're not familiar with this. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. That is 246 pages of this. This is what I made this year. Or will make. Somebody won that in terms of money. $600 million. Okay? Just to wrap your head around this. This is a lifetime of money to most people. This is what some people can expect if they're working minimum wage in their lifetime. Okay? Businesses like Apple Computers, Microsoft, Instagram, Snapchat, they weren't worth $600 million, 246 pages of this. They're worth in terms of billions of dollars. Snapchat was valued at more than $15 billion. Snapchat alone, the app they use all the time. Apple's computer is, I think they were recently projected at $276 billion. I don't even want to calculate how many pages that would be of this. I don't want to calculate that. That's the thing I want you to wrap your head around. Okay? This is $600 million. We didn't even get to $1 billion. Okay? So, just to give you an idea of this in terms of money, because Apple Computers. Apple Computer in 1 quarter last December. 1 quarter, that is going from October to December, it was like 3 months, that was a quarter of the year, made $76 billion profit. Profit. That's not what they paid. Profit only. Their iPhone that you buy in a store, $1,000 phone, that you guys all have a nice phone. Don't get me wrong, you have Samsungs and all these other phones. These don't cost $1,000 to make. They cost $100 to make. Okay, that's where profit comes from. Those Beat headphones you want to buy cost 30 cents to make. They charge you $400 for them. Money that is serious money that you have to save to get to it. Okay, now, I'm going to show you this other website because I want you to wrap your head around this terms of money idea. Okay, so let me pop up this website for you. All right, so I'm gonna bring up this one website that I want you at some point in your life to show your parents this. Okay, I'll come back to that, but I'm gonna bring up this website that I want you to see. Okay. These are dollars, like hundreds, 100,000s, millions, billions, trillions. This is our national debt. This is the bill our country, U.S., has to pay to other countries. That we owe them money. We borrow technologies, we borrowed money from them from different world wars. This is money that we owe federal employees like teachers and other things. Look, it's not going down. It's going up. That is $19 trillion. They're trying to project what tech company will be at $1 trillion. They think, it'll be Amazon or it'll be Google or Apple will be the first company to break the $1 trillion mark. Apple's at 276. Google's like right behind them. Amazon's a ways back. They're trying to figure out which company will be at $1 trillion. This is the debt our country owes. So Apple computers will eventually have so much cash that they could buy the U.S.'s debt out. We'd be back to ground zero. Okay? Now, that's me, to you, you're like, okay, whatever, Apple can do that. I want you to, the idea why I bring this up is I want you to think about place value, what it's worth in terms of lifetimes. Okay? So I don't know if you're a religious person. I am. So if you're not, I'm fine, I can respect that. Imagine you were born 2,016 years ago. That's when the Gregorian calendar started. That's when supposedly Christ was on the planet, right? Year zero. If you were to spend $1 million a day back then, $1 million, that would be like astronomical, but $1 million a day, every day, 365 days a year, for 2,016 years. Okay, $1 million a day for 2,016 years for 365. You would not be at our national debt yet. You wouldn't be at national debt spending $1 million a day for 2,016 years every day. And then it's lunchtime. Think about that. It's hard to turn those things. You have to use a sleeve or your shirt.
Oh, welcome back.
Thank you.
So how's it being the
Instructional coach?
Yeah.
It's different. I like it though. It's fun. I get to see all you guys still.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of weird being that to be honest.
Okay, so let's talk about what we left off with before we went to lunch. Talking about the national debt. I was talking about that concept of if you were to be 2,016 years ago spending $1 million a day on something. So, and you did that for 365 days a year for all 2,016 years, you'd still not be at our national debt. In fact, you wouldn't even be remotely close to our national debt. You'd still be in the hundreds of billions. Hundreds of billions. So that means if you're not even in the trillions yet, that means you could bump that number up. That means you could go $10 million a day and potentially get there. That's insane. $10 million. Okay? So, I mean, in terms of money, to me, like when I think about place value, the concepts we talked about, you know, it didn't really hit me until somebody like my teachers put it in perspective, like what that means. Like, what does it mean to have $1 million in like real world compared to somebody else? You know, and just thinking about that in terms of like how long it takes to work for it, or in terms of years, it's just like I can understand why people want to play the Powerball, want to play like they want to gamble and stuff like that. But I also see the other side of it. I see what it does to families when that's all they spend their money on, and that's not, you know, that scares me too. So like, to give you an idea of the Powerball, because I talked about earlier, like somebody won that $600 million Powerball. The odds of winning the Powerball are almost 0%. And you're like, well, people win it all the time. 1 out of 9 billion people on this planet win it. 9 billion people. Okay, 1. That's nearly 0. In fact, if you were to take like 1 divided by 9 billion on a calculator, it would literally tell you 0. It would tell you 0. It wouldn't even give you a number to go with it. It would just say 0, and that's all it would tell you on your screen. 0% chance. And I know there's those people that say, well, you're not going to win if you don't play. Yeah, but if I'm not going to win because of 0%, I have 0% chance of winning. Would you ever play a game that you paid money for if you know your chance of winning are 0%? 0%. No, you're throwing money away. So that's why, like me personally, I don't play Powerball. I don't. It's just, it's not because I'm a math teacher, because I know math. It's just, I can spend my money on other things I can use it for. Something that makes my life better than that. So, but I just thought this is a cool concept. A 10-minute connection, like connecting the dots between a real number to a place value, right? Okay, let's talk about the place value chart, the thing that we had on the board yesterday. And I know like Alex's is new for you because you weren't here yesterday, but we had this chart that I had. In fact, I'm going to put it right back up there. That was actually a really good chart, I think, for us. Find where that chart is. Here it is. There. All right. Perfect. I have no idea where my cursor is at. Yeah, there it is. All right. Zoom there. Okay, so I'm talking about this. This is the place value chart. So if you can see that, I have a decimal point on the bottom of the screen. It's right down here, if you can see that. Okay, this is where the decimal point is. That's like if you're going to write a number, like I think the number we used yesterday was 900. That was the number we came up with. This is where the decimal is. It's right here because that's where the decimal goes. 900. You're in the 100 spot. Anytime you write a bigger number, you know, you're going past this direction, we'll go 13,900. You always say the numbers that are in this category, see whatever this number is, this 3-digit number, you say it, so it's 13. You say this word, then you go to the next number. So I'm going to say this number, these 3 digits, that's 900. And then if it gets the decimal, you're done. You don't have to say the number like 1. Right? It's not 900 ones. We don't say that. It's just 900. We go bigger. So maybe I'm going to go 0. Let's go up to here and we'll go 5. So now we're the same concept. There's a comma every 3 digits. So every 3 from the back. So now we're in this spot. So this is now 5,013,900. So that's how you like say numbers. That's place value. What your homework's going to ask you to do, because we're going to get some homework today. Your homework's going to ask you to look at a number like this. Just take a number. They're going to give you a big number. So here it is. There's my number. And they'll give you 1 for each time. And they're going to ask you to underline a certain spot. Okay? So, Ms. Stefans, if you will, pick any one of these spots you'd like that where my number is under.
Like the 5.
Okay, 5. Okay, what spot is the 5 in? Yeah, it's in the millions. It's in the 1 millions column. This is in the millions column. They're going to do that. They may underline it like what Ms. Stefan said. She said the 5, right? They're going to underline it, and what you have to do is tell me that it's in the million column. Okay? Maybe instead of the 5, Ms. Schmidt, if you'd like to pick a different number, please.
1.
1. Okay? What spot is the 1 sitting in? 10,000s position. That's absolutely right. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to tell me what spot. It's in the 10,000s position. Before that was a million. It was 1 million's position, the millions. If it was here, then 10 millions, 10 millions. So we said this one, so that you're absolutely right, 10,000s. That's what you're going to have to do. Do you feel comfortable with doing that? Okay, I'll leave that chart up there even for you. They have a chart in your book. I know a lot of you looked at your book yesterday. You probably still have it open. All you have to do is tell me the one spot they underlined. What's the one number they underlined? Okay? And then the second part of the homework they're going to do. They're going to do something like this. They're going to give you a number, and off to the side of that number, they're going to tell you a spot. So they're telling me 1,000. What number up there is in the 1,000 spot? 5, right? What you're going to do is on your paper, on your homework, you write this down, and I want you to underline the 5. That's all you do. So you write down the number, and you underline the spot that they told you. So it's the 5. Well, that's easy. If you don't feel comfortable with that, like, ooh, I don't know what that spot is. You have a chart, right? You have a chart. So just write down the number. So it was 375, 406. Okay. So the 5, because the 1,000 is in this column. It's in the 1,000 position. So that's how you know like what spot you need to underline. It's in the 1,000 position. If they said 10,000, you'd have to underline the 7 instead. If they said 10,000 or 100,000, you'd need the 3. So they're going to tell you what spot they want you to underline. So the first one's very easy. You just tell me what spot did they underline. You just tell me this. The second type of homework, you have to underline a certain number. We feel comfortable with what you're going to have to do today. So let me see. I think I gave you maybe 10 problems. Don't even think I gave you 10. Okay, so you have your book. If you didn't, you're going to have to borrow one. Okay, here's your homework. This homework is due Monday. Monday. You got the whole weekend. I'll give you a little bit of time tomorrow to work on it. Okay, so here it is. It's page 2. Doing 1 through 10, exercise A and B. So you're doing 10 problems for the first one. That's this, where you've got to tell me the spot they underlined. And then the second part, you have to underline something. So A and B. Okay, on your homework, you need to have a separate sheet of paper so you can tear it out of your notebook, or you can leave it in there until you're going to tear it out. Here's what I want. I want your name in the top right corner, full name. First, last name, not middle. I don't care about your middle name. But first, last name, you need the date. Today's date is what, 8/25? 8/25. You're going to have the actual assignment written, so it's what, page 2, 1 through 10, A and B, and then your period 5. This should always be in that top right corner of your homework every single time. The reason why, you can turn your homework in at any point during the day. I have no problems with that. I really don't. I have no problems with you turning your homework at any point. But I need to know what period you are, what your name was, what the homework assignment was, so I know like where to put it. Okay? Now, it's due Monday, correct? So that means you've got to turn it in the minute you walk in Monday, if you haven't already. You could turn it in tomorrow, you could turn it in Monday morning, but period 5 comes around Monday, that better be in my basket there, on my desk, or the one in the back of the room, way in the back over there. Okay? Okay, makes sense? Okay, you can move desks around, you can work together, you can work in partners, but you gotta have your own paper. Okay? I have no problem with it. You can have some conversations, get it lively. If you want music, I'll play some music if you're comfortable. If you don't want that, that's fine. Just don't get your cell phone. No cell phones. So keep them away. Put them in your bag, I don't want them. I'll leave those 2 examples up there so you kind of know what you're going to be expected to do. And I'll walk around. I'll help you on the first couple. If you're not quite sure what you have to do, I'll kind of explain it as I walk around. I kind of see how you're writing it. So So it's in right here, in the spot? Yeah, just write it once. Yeah, just write it once. And then move on to the next one. Yep.
You don't have to write the whole.
No, you don't have to write the whole number. All you have to do is tell me what spot did it end in. So you're just telling me this. Oh, it's in the 1 spot. Oh, it's in the 1,000 spot. That's all you have to do. You don't have to write the whole number out. I think it's the second part. I think they want you to write the whole number out and then underline this certain thing. So, make sure spelling's a big thing. Spell correctly. I know I don't spell everything correctly, but at least try. At least have a chart in front of me. Can't mess that up. Okay, everyone's on the same page.
I'm gonna write it after this.
Or are you doing part B first, or are you doing part A first?
I'm gonna do part B and then I'll do part A.
Okay, so yeah, just write part B at the top, so I know. That way I don't actually count it wrong. Yeah, so remember, when you're doing like different parts, try to label, oh, I'm doing part A, I'm doing part B. Okay, that way I kind of know I don't get it wrong by grading it wrong. So that's good enough. Okay, if you need help, please ask. We have 3 lovely people that know some serious math in here, so. Okay, just remember, just a word to the wise. When you're doing your problems, the 1 through, the part A, I'm looking at part A, right? 1 through 6 goes down. Don't go across. Not like reading book about grades, going down the column. Okay, so I just noticed that. So be careful. So just a reminder, this assignment's due Monday. Book assignment, or the book cover, is due tomorrow. So make sure you get a book cover on. So maybe you need to make a note, sticky note, put it on your top of your computer, whatever you need to do tonight to remember that.
Just go through 10 on the part A.
Part A and Part B. Yep. Yep, 10 on both. Just sit there and count by hand to figure that out. was the thing was that. So at the top, you're just writing what word it was, like what spot it landed in. The bottom one, remember, you're writing up the full number and then just underlining the one big